All right, thanks for tuning into Leading Forecast. I'm Swift Lead Forecaster Joseph Cooper, and tell you what, everybody's getting all excited over the weekend. So basically have to post a Leading Forecast here. I don't have any choice. I had threats come against me about this. No, I'm just kidding. Not true. Let's don't get worked up over that. So let's go on over. Here we go. The current national map here. You can see a couple low pressure systems here. One out across the Great Plains across southeast Nebraska, and the cold front stretching behind that, and a warm front down through Missouri. And then another low just off the east coast here. We got some rain showers and some snow showers associated with that. Even some rumbles of thunder down across the Orlando, central Florida peninsula. Associated with that. Going on over to the next slide, this is tomorrow. See text out across the Texas area here, right across Dallas here. As we get into tomorrow, maybe some gusty winds, some small hail. And then as we get the Storm Prediction Center saying as we get into Saturday, there might be a little bit of a risk of some gusty winds, small hail out across Kansas and Missouri. But nothing too major. Here we go. Let's get on over into, this is the GFS forecasting model. Really wanted to throw up the name, but I think I'm going to wait till the Saturday leading forecast to do that. So, yes, you heard right. I'm going to do one Saturday. So all you guys that keep hounding me and saying, oh, when are you going to do another one? I'm going to do another one Saturday just because the severe weather potential this weekend looks interesting. Here's your low. This is by the time we get into tomorrow afternoon is a big kind of wave of low pressure sitting up across the Wyoming, Idaho, Missouri area, and then some snow showers potentially by tomorrow night, maybe even out across the Midwest here, Indiana, Kentucky, maybe getting in on a little bit. The ground level may be a little bit too warm, we'll have to see. And then the low runs up the East Coast that we're seeing out here along the North Carolina Outer Banks today, and maybe spread some snow out across Vermont and then up to the New England area here, Maine, maybe even New York gets in on a little bit of snow as we get into tomorrow. This is a good in the Saturday. Here comes your system finally getting organized. Really nice low pressure system now sitting up across the northern plains here up towards Montana. I think you probably end up seeing this redevelop down here towards Colorado. Some snow on the backside up here towards northwest Montana, maybe even as far back into Oregon and Washington State here. And then here's your Storm Prediction Center outlook, day 4 out across the plains here, and then day 5 across the south and the Corn Belt, and then down day 6 across the southeastern United States. It's going to be interesting to see how they, maneuver this around. There's so many different models coming out. So, right now I'm not about to make any kind of assessments here, but going on over the forecast models, the GFS low pressure system as of Sunday afternoon, now sitting just pretty much close to Denver here, northeastern Colorado. Warm front, I think, will be your primary target of initiation potentially on Sunday. And there might be some stuff that goes on along the cold front and dry line here as we get into Sunday afternoon. The problem I'm seeing with Sunday, there's a lot of good dynamics. A lot of people going off when we're having energy helicity indexes of 9 out across 9 and 10. Out across Missouri and eastern Kansas, but the problem is, you can have all these good, indexes, but right now it's looking like maybe have 12 or 13 or maybe even more, 13 degrees Celsius, 700 millibar temperatures out across these same areas. If you can't, if you have really, warm mid-level, that cloud, the air parcel can't rise, so it gets capped and you can't get anything till later. And this is by late Sunday, and you can see we're just not getting a lot of good stuff. North of the warm front, up across Illinois and Indiana, some rain, maybe some thunderstorms. But, I really not quite sold you. This is going to have to go through and progress through over the next couple of days and see. But, right now, I think the cap's too strong. In fact, the forecast models don't really break anything out until about 6Z Monday morning. This is by late Monday afternoon, low pressure center. I think this shows a wave, but we'll probably have a low going up across the northern portion of Indiana. Warm front out across northern Indiana and Ohio, and your cold front draping back across Missouri, maybe even to eastern Oklahoma, and then a dry line coming across the south. And, from the low southward, there could be some severe weather, and there could be some pretty intense severe weather. No doubt about that. The south, I think, will really get in definitely on some good severe weather. The thing I'm not so sure about from maybe central Missouri northward into Illinois, Indiana, how quick does that rain? How's the Sunday, showers and thunderstorms that develop in the early morning affect the ability to get good instability in by afternoon on Monday. If you can't get the good instability, then all of a sudden you might not have such a great severe weather outbreak. There's so many different variables that are going to go into this as we get into the next several days because of how this system's setting up. And then by the time we get into Tuesday, this shows the low down across southern Ohio, but I think you end up with a low up here across PA. And then we have the cold front draping down, severe storm still ongoing, probably in more of a squall line potential or maybe broken supercellular line coming across the Alabama-Georgia region. Then here's the 500 millibar trough. You can see this is by Sunday night, 500 millibar. This is really digging in. However, the thing I see with this is you have a positive tilted trough, and you really want to see a good negative tilted trough. In my opinion, you don't get the diffluent flow. And then here we go as we get into Monday. Still slightly positive, but there have been signs that could go neutral or maybe even negative. It's going to be interesting to see what the NAM says and the WRF and everything as we get into the next day or two when we progress that far. As we get into Wednesday, your trough really goes neutral to almost negative at times here, and that could be interesting to get a little bit better flow. And then as we get into Thursday here, the trough finally moves up the East Coast, and you get a pretty decent storm probably moving up the East Coast here. We'll have to wait and see. So, I'm not going to sit here and try to nail down severe weather potential just yet. It's going to be there. I should say the potential is going to be there. Exactly where and how bad it's going to be, I'm not ready to throw it out there and say one way or the other. It could be good, or it may just be a bust, and we may have too strong a cap, or the rain may work in and kill everything off. There's so many different things that are going to be hopefully worked out with by Sunday night or Saturday night, and hopefully Sunday night too with the Monday setup. So, anyways, don't get your hopes up just yet, but keep your eye on it. That's what I'm going to do. So, anyways, we'll have another one Saturday. We'll discuss what is or isn't going to happen with this storm. So, anyways, till next time, I'm Swift Lead forecaster Joseph Cooper. Have a great night.